IVM.
Hey guys, even though Elon Musk is trying to turn everyone into robots, you'll be happy to know that very real human beings work at IVM Podcasts, and some of them are even cool. How do I know? Well, listen to their own podcast, IVM Likes, where they recommend what they are listening to, watching, or reading. Catch IVM Likes every Monday on iTunes, Stitcher, or anywhere you listen to podcasts. And may I recommend the IVM Podcasts app.
Hello and welcome to the Geek Bulletin. My name is Dinkar and with me is Jishnu Guha. Jishnu, it's raining outside. But in here it's summer. You know why?
No.
Because it's the Geek Bulletin and we talk about things. Some are news, some are not news. What's up? How do you do? The Emmy nominations were just announced, Jishnu, and Game of Thrones has gotten a record 32 nominations for a pretty spotty final season. What do you think? I know I'm doing this announcer voice.
I know. I'm enjoying it.
Well, what do you think, Jishnu Guha?
I don't have many thoughts.
Isn't it weird that, do you think it's because it's the final season and they're trying to just wrap it up? Like it's the Lord of the Rings effect of they were like, let's just give all the awards to the final installment?
Pretty much.
Probably,
I don't really know. Like the Emmys and all the awards at this point, pretty much, the Oscars, Emmys, pretty much everything except the Tonys, are all. I just stopped really giving a damn about them because they all seem gamed a certain way. It's just like the popular ones really tend to shine, and they're popular for a reason, but they're also popular because there's a lot of money being pumped into them. You know.
The only Emmy season you cared about was 2017.
Who was in that year?
I don't know, but I'll tell you what. Let me just run through some nominations and tell me what your situation is on these. Outstanding comedy series, Barry.
Still haven't seen it. They just says very good things about it.
It is very, very good.
Yeah.
Definitely worth watching. I'm not done with season 2 yet, but it's a spectacular series.
Sure.
Definitely worth watching. Also a pretty zippy watch, Jigs. I think you'd enjoy it because it's like 8 episodes of 25 minutes.
Are you calling me Zippy?
No, I'm calling you Jiggy.
Oh, okay.
All right. Fleabag. Has you all seen Fleabag?
No.
Okay.
Have you?
No, I haven't, but I'm hearing very good things.
That's nice.
All right. The Good Place.
Nope.
Love it. It's a very good show. Yes. The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
I've been holding on that for a while.
It's a good show. Russian Doll.
Nope.
Great. Shit's.
That's pretty much it, right? Like that's the thing. These are all shows.
These are all very, very good shows, though. Like
there's
Marvelous
nothing wrong with
Mrs.
them.
Maisel, spectacular. Russian Doll, really, really good. Schitt's Creek, I haven't seen. That's the one on Netflix with Eugene Levy, I believe. Veep. Oh, Veep did its final season, and that was the best final season on TV this year.
Was it?
Yes,
Awesome.
spectacular. Everyone becomes president.
Nice.
I'm not even joking.
Oh, wow.
It's a weird show.
Okay.
Outstanding drama. Better Call Saul.
I haven't seen it beyond the first season, which I loved, but
Yeah?
I haven't gone back to it yet.
I never even started the first season.
It was incredible.
I keep hearing it's incredible,
It
and
was.
people like, if you love Breaking Bad, you have to watch Saul.
Pretty much.
And I really like Bob Odenkirk, who I think is like, he's one of those comedic actors who turned into a really incredible drama actor. So I definitely want to watch it, but also, it feels like so much work.
It does.
Anyway, Bodyguard. I don't think I've seen a lot of this drama stuff. Okay, have you seen This Is Us, Jigs, ever?
No.
It's it's really nice, but it's essentially, I mean, in a lot of ways, it's a soap that, but a very good soap, if you know what I mean.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Like it's Game of Thrones, but good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sure, Game of Thrones is in here as well. Killing Eve. Y'all know about Killing Eve?
Nope.
It stars Sandra Oh, and I haven't seen it, but it sounded like a very intriguing plotline to me because basically a lady's hired to kill Eve, and the entire, like, Eve is a character. There's another lady hired to kill her, and the entire season is about the relationship that develops between the hit woman and the
Hitty.
mark. Yes.
Okay.
All right. Pose. Don't know about it. I mean, I've heard of it.
Never even heard of it.
It stars Billy Porter, I believe, or it's created by him, and it's like something to do with show business, I want to say.
Well done.
Or modeling, probably modeling.
I will take that glowing recommendation.
Bodyguard. I don't even know what this is.
Nope.
Ozark. Is Ozark the one with Jason Bateman and
it
it's
is.
a
I think
Batesman?
he also got nominated for like best actor or something.
I
like that.
heard. Okay, then it must be on season 2 or 3, and
Yeah.
I remember reading middling reviews of the first season, so I never got into it.
Likewise.
Succession. Cool.
We're just naming things at this point.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, okay. This is interesting.
Is it? Is it?
Outstanding
This better be.
limited series.
Yeah.
And we're going to cap it at this because this is all the shows. Chernobyl.
I can't say enough good things about that show.
You've seen it?
Yeah,
I haven't seen it yet.
You know how
okay.
much I love that show?
Huh?
I'll tell you how much I love that show. I know you don't care how much I love that show, but I'm going to tell you.
I do care how much you love that show.
This is how much I love that show.
How much?
I watched 5. It's 5 episodes.
Okay.
Hour long each.
Mm-hmm.
I watched all 5 in one go.
Wow.
I then went so far as to look up the podcast for it. There is an official
Nice.
podcast hosted by Peter Sagal, of all people, who I love.
Really?
Peter Sagal from NPR's Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me. And if you like that show anywhere as much as I do, then I cannot recommend the podcast enough because it's also an hour-long per episode podcast.
Really?
So it's literally a director's
each podcast
commentary.
episode. Oh, nice.
And it's with Peter Sagal and Craig Mazin, the writer, producer, showrunner,
Right.
just being interviewed pretty much scene by scene. And I watched it 3 days ago? Mm-hmm. I've already started rewatching it.
Nice.
That's why I haven't seen any of those shows in that giant list of Emmy noms. Because I'm just like, I'll find one thing and I'll just dig into it and take my time with it. And because of Geek Fruit, we end up watching all the new stuff, the big hitter films that come out. Stranger Things, obviously, a couple of shows every now and again. Mm-hmm. But since that takes up so much of my time, as you know, old man Shnu, I take my time with watching stuff. So this past week, the things I watched were I was on a real John Hughes kick.
Ooh,
So
nice.
I rewatched
Is this because of Stranger Things hangover?
Not really. So surprisingly, they were separate, even though there is very much a parallel. I was watching Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, and I went on a
Nice.
John Candy trip and stuff like that. So since Geek Fruit satisfies enough of current day staying on top of stuff things for me, then therefore when when award season comes around, I was like, man, there's no way I am ever going to be capable of keeping up with the Joneses enough to ever know everything in one category of any of these award shows. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I will never have seen everything that the best leading or best supporting, let alone the best shows.
There's a bit of a
are
problem
covered up.
of plenty there
Yeah,
because
it's just-
all of these shows are, a lot of them are just shows that I've heard lots of good things about,
Yeah.
but that I haven't gotten around to. Fleabag, for example, is literally the next thing on my watch list, but I just haven't started yet.
Right.
Or The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. I'm not up to date on it because at a certain point I was like, okay, I have to go watch other stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm halfway through season 1,
Right.
which is way far behind,
Yeah.
right? As opposed to, a Russian Doll I finished fairly quickly because, again, zippy watch. But a Chernobyl I haven't gotten to. Is it Chernobyl or
It's,
Chernobyl?
Chernobyl.
It's
Cher.
Okay.
Cher.
And another thing that's held me back from Chernobyl is how gory is it?
Oh, gory? It's pretty gory.
Is it going to give me nightmares?
No, it won't give you nightmares. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. I can't talk about it enough, and it needs its own podcast, for God's sake, because it's the great thing about it is
Let's
that obviously
do it.
I was very...
Let's podcast Chernobyl.
Are we doing it now? No, we're not. No, we're not.
Yeah. The part
But
where it churned. Oh my God!
it churns at the word go. That's the thing.
Really?
It's a beautiful dramatization of the thing. And if you hear the podcast, it's really intriguing as well because there are things that have been obviously deviated. There are things that have been changed up for the sake of the narrative and whatnot. But I mean, the great thing is it's not for example, the score is not your typical score by any means. It's this new Icelandic woman who we don't know at all, and she's just put in this
Björk.
very... That's the thing. You don't know who this person
I'm
is.
convinced there's
it's a
nobody in
random
Iceland except Björk anyway.
name.
She's-
Sigur Rós.
huh?
Sigur Rós
I'm convinced Sigur Rós is just a manifestation of Björk.
is
Everyone on Iceland.
Björk on the day off.
Everyone on Iceland is just a different Björk frequency. So she vibrates back and forth really fast. And that creates the illusion of people who are in Sigur Rós, like Jonsi, that's even a real name. And everyone else in Iceland, they're just made up. It's all Björk. She just moves really fast.
How many people are in Björk?
Björk is one person.
Is Björk just the one?
Björk is a...
But is Björk just Björk?
Well, she is all, if that's what you mean. Björk is all and all is Björk.
So Lashana Lynch is going to be James Bond.
Right.
Right?
Well,
How about that?
Okay, so from what I understand, they're very carefully wording it as she's going to be a 007.
She's going to be a 007. Yeah.
Right.
Have you seen that little not so subtle synopsis that they've given? I found that very
Oh, I didn't
peculiar.
read that. I read like a casting piece.
So there's it's on a couple of different articles out there that where they've explained pretty much that Daniel Craig is going to be around in Jamaica. They're very specific about the details with this. It's very weird. They're like,
In Jamaica?
Daniel Craig is hanging out in Jamaica. James Bond is hanging out in Jamaica. And M calls him and is like, yo, come and do this thing. And he's like, screw you, I'm done. And blah, blah, blah. Things happen. And then they literally say, doors open. In walks Lashana Lynch. And they say it's like, it's just as straightforward as, all right, you're the new 007. And it's
What
and there's
does
like
this
and there's a weird
mean?
and there's a weird like sexual tension between James Bond and the new 007 because he tries to like put his moves on her, doesn't work I guess, and that therefore reasserts her authority on the street. It's weird. What I find odd about it, I have enough problems with just that whole thing just in general because it kind of undermines the value of having a new player coming in. But if you put that aside, the fact that they're years probably away from putting this film out, right? But they're being pretty blatant about exactly how this is going to play out in a random like Guardian article and things like that.
Yeah.
Like imagine 2012, 2014, whatever it was, talking about Civil War, and we've all been talking about like, oh, is Spider-Man going to come into the MCU? How are we going to do this? And you read a random article that says, yes, there's going to be a fight, and it's going to be Cap versus Tony, and then there's going to be a little kid that jumps out, and it turns out he's wearing a Spider-Man costume.
With the detail that it's all at an airport.
Right. It's
And
just
we'll be
like, why would you
what
tell me this?
is
Like,
happening at this airport?
it's just weird. It's such an odd thing to do. Like I think just telling us that Lashana Lynch is the new 007 is enough.
Yeah.
Stop it there because you're going to do more harm than good with the more information you give us, the more we're going to
This
chew
is
at
already
it.
very confusing.
Exactly. But I think if they just said the basic fact of we have a new cast member, boom, fine, Daniel Craig is still in the movie. That's weird, but all right, we can get over that if the movie makes it land. But the more you tell us about it before we see the movie, the more harm you're going to do.
Also, what is this phrasing of she's the new 007? Because she's obviously not James Bond.
So that's the thing.
But 007 is James Bond.
That's the thing. So that's the phrasing, right? The phrasing doesn't matter when it comes to the film because when the film happens, it's all there. And then we can have our beef with it. We can applaud it however we want to. But this is just a stupid press release that some marketing person at the company was just like, I'm going to tell you that she's the new 007. And then she tells us a little bit extra information about Jamaica and things like this. Like, why are you doing this? Let the film do the job that the film is supposed to do.
And
you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're trying to create buzz, but they're kind of really screwing it up.
And James Bond doesn't freaking need buzz, especially when you're like flipping the script and making it a black woman, which is great. It's like, wow, that's an amazing step forward.
Yeah.
But damn, you're just shooting yourself in the foot at the same time. It's like, how did you mess this up?
Also, what's up with Idris then?
It doesn't matter. Just let the movie be. Like, we know that we're moving forward. We're getting a new film. We know that there's a new female lead. Great. That's it. Now just show me the damn movie. Because the more details you tell me about this, the more we can all mull over it. And obviously, the more we mull over it, the more we end up hating it. Like with most things. Like, the more information we have about anything
none
before
of this
the fact,
is worth mulling over. But again, just a strange choice.
it's just weird.
Anyway, speaking of
odd.
strange choices, here's
Yeah.
a not strange choice.
Uh-oh.
Taika Waititi is directing Thor 4,
Yeah.
which really should have just been called Thor?
Thor.
Thor.
Um,
TH4R.
Well, STCC is happening as we speak by the time this episode comes out,
It's true.
STCC's first day will have finished.
Yeah.
I feel like there's zero point in speculating considering we're like 24 hours away from
From it actually
a
happening.
ton of news just dropping. It's like
I suppose so.
talking about Thor right now.
Have you seen this thing where the Russo brothers have been dropping hints? So they have a panel at, is it Hall H or where? In one of the halls.
Probably.
They have a panel, but there's nothing really set for the agenda. So, and it's
Right.
not a studio, it's the Russo brothers,
Yeah.
right? So, and they've been dropping these...
That's because they have their own thing.
correct.
With Marcus and McFeely.
Nobody
Couldn't
knows
be more
what they're
excited.
about to announce. But one of the teasers they dropped for it, saying like 11 a.m. Hall H or whatever,
Yeah.
had the Spanish rap song from Community playing. And now people are saying, what if it's the Community movie we were promised?
Right.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I've always said that Community is a weirdly powerful show. Literally,
That's
half
another one.
that-
That's another one I never got to.
Community?
Yeah.
Okay, it's worth watching for sure, but it varied wildly in quality. But just the people involved in it all spectacular. Like, literally half the cast is Oscar winners now. I mean, there's Donald Glover, who's, doing everything. There's Alison Brie, who's doing some pretty spectacular stuff. Like Glow, she's so good in Glow. Jim Rash, who was the dean, did win an Oscar for The Descendants. Ludwig Göransson, who did the score and does all the producing for Childish Gambino's music, has also won an Oscar. Dan Harmon does weird stuff. But anyway, that's already enough Oscar winners in a pretty small cast.
I had to take a call between Community and Arrested Development, and I chose Arrested Development. So I've seen there's 6 seasons now?
Yes.
Oh, there are 5 seasons.
I mean,
5 are out, they're doing 6.
There's... okay, it depends. There's a weird
it's a weird one.
system. The original run was 3 seasons.
I've seen all of the original run. I've seen the first thing that came out on Netflix.
The split up season?
The split up one.
Yeah.
I've seen that. So I was like, cool.
What do you think?
I love my Russos. It
of
was weird.
Arrested Development?
Oh, I loved it.
Thank God.
Oh my God, I loved it. Like
cool.
the original run was flawless.
I'm uncancelling your jigs.
The original run was flawless. The new one, the
original
Netflix
run
thing
is really
was
flawless.
weird. Was a weird one, but I enjoyed it while it lasted. But then I'm never gonna go rewatch that thing. It was a little
the Netflix thing, exactly.
It was a little too up its own ass for my liking. I was just like,
it was a weird one, and it's because of and also a lot of it was just working around production issues. The entire cast, another show where everyone involved went on to do really big stuff. The Russo brothers again directed a bunch of Community, which is why I brought that up.
What? Yes, that's why I said.
And that's how we went on to Arrested Development. I just realized what we did.
Did you just have a brain fart?
I know, I had a brain wave, Jigs.
All right,
anyway, the 4th season, they had to deal with the fact that everyone involved with the show had become really popular. Like Will Arnett was killing it, Jason Bateman was killing it, Michael Cera was a movie star pretty much. Alia Shawkat now develops her own stuff. Jeffrey Tambor was on Transparent. So basically, they had to shoot individual stuff for each character, because that's the only way they could make the schedules work. Which is also why there'd be all these scenes where there's clearly green screen happening and eye lines don't match and stuff. It's just a very odd season. But that original run, flawless.
Yep.
So good. Anyway.
Hence, I have not seen Community.
This has been the Geek Food Bulletin.
Well done.
Hey guys, I'm Mikhail Almeida. I host a podcast with my co-hosts Akash Mehta and Siddharth Dureja on the IVM app. It's called What a Player.
What a Player.
WADDAPLAYAH, because illiterates can't find it on their own.
No, and the her at the end is very important. What a player.
Yeah. And it comes out every Thursday on the IVM app. Tune in, we discuss everything sports, all sports.
All sports.
Yeah.
Mainly cricket, other sport in the middle, sandwich.
What happened to your language skills? Don't worry, he talks better on the show.
Yeah.
It's a great show. It has all things, including cricket and things around sports as well.
Yeah.
And some personal life.
As you can see, we're a very united podcast, and if you want to listen to us, tune in to us every Thursday on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com.
Thursday.
Janice, what do you think couples did before TV was invented?
I don't know, go for walks on the beach, long drives, fancy dinners, have more sex maybe?
But what did we do when we decided to move in together? We debated between the Chromecast and the Fire Stick.
We gave up on sleeping early so we could stay up watching true crime shows.
We got ourselves 3 cat babies.
And basically became the cutest couch potatoes around.
Okay then.
In case you guys still haven't got it, we are a TV crazy, Netflix loving, binge watching Mr. and Mrs.
I'm Anirudh Kuha.
I'm Janice Sequeira.
And if like us, you snort TV for breakfast, lunch and dinner, this is the podcast for you.
Tune in every Thursday on the IVM Podcast app or wherever it is that you get your podcast from. This is
Mr.
and Mrs.
Binge Watch.